AEW
The best guy is Tony Khan.
So Samoa Joe injured while filming the second season of his Peacock series Twisted Metal with Anthony Mackie. And again, if Tony Khan's freezing this dude, we're never going to see him in WWE again, I reckon. Samoa Joe reveals he fractured his ankle while filming season 2 of Twisted Metal. He says, normally I would say the ring is always a much more precarious place to be in. But halfway through the season, I fractured my ankle. Nothing crazy. We had done a series of pretty crazy driving stunts and some dangerous things here and there when it was just parking, and I had to hop out the back on some really rocky, busted up asphalt. I turned my ankle, spent the rest of the season taping it up and limping through it, and that's with PWI. Yeah, Joe's going to tough that out. That show prioritizes his time in AEW. I hope to God he has a clause that he can't be frozen for injury time, but why would he? Maybe because he knew going into AEW, because he said it in an interview, hey, I went there because they could accommodate my acting gigs and the stuff I had pre-agreed to or planned and all this with Twisted Metal and everything. There's no way he agreed to, yeah, you can sign me up for like a 5-year deal, or let's say it's a 5-year deal. And because that was around 2 when Tony started trying to really sign people up for longer terms. Let's say he's like, yeah, 5-year deal, but you can't freeze me for any of my TV time or anything like, or movie, acting. Like, you have to factor that into my time here. Otherwise, like, what are we doing? Then I'm signing myself up for like a 10-year deal or something, right? I think Joe would be smart enough to work that in. So let's pray to God, to the wrestling gods, that he is not frozen there until like forever. How much mileage does Joe have on him, and how much mileage does he have left? It's curious to see, but we will figure that out hopefully in the next couple of years. At Arena Mexico, MJF is taking on Zandokan, and then Mystico's in a match with Hologram versus the Beast Mortis and Defunto. So check that out, I suppose. AEW doing the big crossover shows, MJF getting those rounds in. Good to see. Good to see. Report AEW. So people re-signing as well with AEW. I believe Tony Nese recently re-signed, and if it wasn't him, then Matt Menard, Daddy Magic Taste certainly did re-sign. He said, it says here that wrestler commentator. So he signed on as both a wrestler and commentator. Edge was on the show tonight, and I didn't even know. Holy man, he better get back to the Fed soon too. I know a lot of people don't want to see him back, but it's like he could be on John Cena's farewell tour. Instead, he's doing this. Same with Mox. He could be in all this Roman Seth. Instead, he's clubbing it out with Kevin Knight, talking about Hot Pockets or whatever on the morning news there, telling people not to go to AEW shows. But someone who draws a crowd, I don't know if he draws a crowd, but someone who can get over and who I think I would stack my chips on. Like, if I'm Tony Khan, I'm building Anthony Bowens up as like, here's our big baby face crossover guy, right? And he's here again. Like, he's invited to the Netflix Tudums. WWE's all over that. It's like, well, where's AEW's presence at anything, at any WBD thing? They're not there. All of a sudden, Bowen shows up at the Tudums. All of a sudden, he's here too for this Bob Odenkirk movie, Nobody. And he's taking pictures with everybody. There's Bill Burr. Dude, I'm not even in this movie. And then, he's taking pictures with all the stars, and like Bowens is out there, man, and he's mixing it up. I would be stacking my chips. Like, let's build this guy up as like our underdog babyface guy. But instead, he just shows up sporadically, and then Billy Gunn's in his corner or whatever. This to say about Tony Khan on Superstar Crossover. So they quote him here. And Tony Khan had this to say about AEW stories. He says, I think the stories in AEW have been as strong as ever, whether you love them or not. Nobody can question. There's a lot of storytelling in AEW. I disagree. And if there is a lot of it, it's very elementary. Stories have beginnings, middles, and ends. We still don't even have motive for Moxley. He's just booked in matches now. So why are you just booking him in matches now after he tried to tear down the fucking company and he's keeping fucking belts and briefcases and shit? Why is it just like, he stormed in this office and said, I want to fight Bailey and we're having a sanction match, and I didn't report him to the police for any of this stuff, for kidnapping people and shit? It makes no fucking sense. There's no rhyme or reason. I'm sorry. You can say, oh, there's stories, but I don't, in my humble opinion, they don't qualify as stories just on principle, dude. So again, Tony, love you, bud, but like, fuck, man, you gotta someone there's got to be not just a mark. There's got to be someone there with vision. Maybe called James Gunn. I don't know. He says whether you love them or not, nobody can question. There's a lot of stories in AEW. That doesn't matter. Like whether you love them or not, there's a lot of this thing. Okay. That could be a problem, though. You know, that's not a whether you like it or not. There are stories. So the people who say there aren't stories, nope, no, dog. It's like a turn of phrase. It's like an expression. There's no stories, meaning there's no substance to any of this shit. There's no rhyme or reason. There's no answers. Nothing gets resolved. There's no resolution. There's no like first act, middle act, third act. There's none of that, bro. So until that happens, it's just, I'm sorry. That's what people mean by no story. Like, yeah, you're trying, dude. We get that, but it's like they mean no as in like it's an exaggerative expression. Is that the right terminology I'm using right now? You guys know like what no, they don't mean literally there's no story at all here. No, like, yeah, you're writing stories, Tony. They're just terrible, right? Like we just need to get across. And you can hear it's like a comedy show in this building. Everyone gets quiet. The punchline comes. Everyone laughs. Craziness. So anyways, and a lot of fans who actually pay attention to think it's great. So then you're blaming the fans. Well, if you actually pay attention, no, dude, people pay attention. And if you actually pay attention to AEW, it rots your fucking brain. You can't, you get holes in your brain. When I try and break down the logic and the story in AEW, I go insane. I start yelling on this fucking show because it's so redacted. Everybody does. Literally everybody does. So if you don't pay attention really, and you just look up like YouTube videos or you just throw on AEW and you're like, oh, this match is pretty cool. That's the way to consume AEW. Like it's an indie. Oh, it's just this thing in passing. Like it shouldn't even be on TV every week. It would probably be a bigger and better company if they weren't on TV every week to have comparisons to other companies' TV. If they were doing these numbers, but just an indie, everyone would be like, holy shit. And they were just uploading this shit to YouTube. And he's like, no, I got the money. Fuck it. I'll fucking get Edge on my YouTube show. And everyone was like, bring it to TV. And he's like, nah, streaming and YouTube's where it's at. He'd probably get more respect and it would probably get more popular. That's just my humble opinion. I don't know. If they leaned into the holy, look at this random spot or whatever the fuck. So I don't know, Tony. You need more good minds back there. That's all I'll say about that. So Shayna Baszler spoke about the possibility of signing with AEW now that she's technically a free agent wrestling-wise. She says, obviously, it's not a secret. You know, I'm really good friends with Marina Shafir. I have a lot of friends there, so there's been some discussion as to what the future could hold for sure. Yeah, I could definitely see her doing like short stuff, like a short little program there, maybe just putting Marina over. Maybe her and Joe team up and like against Mox and Shafir. I think that would do numbers. Like, why the fuck don't they do that, man? But Joe's hurt now, but I could totally see her doing this and that, but I don't think she wants to burn that bridge of like producing and writing and doing shit in NXT. Why would you want to? That's like a lifelong career you could have in WWE. So Mercedes Mone, who we covered earlier, said what AEW talent should do if they don't have the desire to be the best. If you don't love it, if you don't wanna to even try or grow to be the best, get to the fuck out. Get to the fuck out because there's so much talent that wanna the opportunity in that spot. So give it to them. Is it a work or a shoot, brother? I don't know. Speaking of is it a work or a shoot, Karrion Kross talks about how he, and we're going to dive into this more in WWE news. So he went on Ariel Helwani's show and pretty much nothing's changed other than he just said, no, it's for real, but I'd like to keep working there, but who knows what the future holds, but it's real for sure. Trust me. I don't know, guys. It smells like a work. I'm going to get into it a bit more and what I've been told. Fuck it. Dirt sheet time. $5 for the Discord. No, it's free. Hit the link below. Get in there. Come hang out. But I'm going to let you, I'm just going to fucking stooge it, you know, pretty much, because it's pretty much what I've been saying this whole fucking time. It's a work shoot, brother, because that's what they're in the business of now. That's my opinion, though, also. Like, I'm just giving a educated opinion on it all. We'll do that in WWE news, but when it comes to fucking him talking to AEW, it's crazy no one will just pick up the phone and call him. Now, wouldn't it be bonkers if Kross and Scarlett just debuted and fucking strangled Moxley or like put an end to, you know, like they need someone to just show up and just take everyone out and go, fuck this. I'm slapping all you goofs around. That would be awesome, but I don't think that's going to happen, and no one will pick up the phone and just call him, which is like, why? No one, what, is Tony too scared? He's like, I don't want to get sued again. You know, what are you worrying about? Just call him, bro. You guys all admit to quote unquote contract tampering. It's the fucking carny wrestling business. You all do it. You're all friends. You all talk to each other. We know. Just pick up the phone and call him and figure out if it's true. But Kross is sitting here like, and he comments on the rumors about AEW offering him a deal. And as well, it just seems like when you call someone out on some shit, then they start over explaining type shit. That's how it just feels to me. But also he's on a show, so he's trying to give Ariel an answer. But I just think that we'll see him back in WWE one day. He even says it. And I feel as though he was planned to take time off for his book tour regardless. And I don't believe they just weren't giving deals to anyone and shit. Like, it's gotten out when they just were letting contracts expire. It already got out. So Kross would say, they're letting my deal expire like the other people did. Well, he just didn't do that. So to me, it's, and they're promoting his book up until the last minute and all this shit. It's a little fishy. It's a little strange. And other little things I pointed out, like, why is his merch on PWTs? It just says Kross and Scarlett. It doesn't say the smoke show, Scarlett Bordeaux. His shirt doesn't say Killer Kross is back, Return of the Killer or anything. And if they added more merch to their PWTs, send me pics and I'll gladly shut the fuck up. But their merch on their indie shop just says Kross and Scarlett on it. That's their WWE names. Why? Because you don't want to start being like, I'm Killer Kross again. Well, his Twitter's that. Cool. The mainstream, not everyone's on Twitter. A lot of people, maybe you could argue more, only know him as Karrion Kross. There's a whole section of fans who only know him as Karrion. They don't know about the killer part or the White Rabbit part and all that Lucha Underground shit. So maybe that's why his merch just says Kross on it and hers just says Scarlett, and she didn't add the Bordeaux because she was popular as Scarlett Bordeaux before she became just Scarlett. So, and as Charlotte Flair showed everyone, adding your last name back, even in the Fed, doesn't hurt you. Or removing your last name doesn't hurt you either. So to me, there's a lot of signs where I'm like, bro, this to me feels like Seth, like the way they tried to work us with that injury. They were 10 steps ahead. They knew for Seth to fucking botch the moonsault and all that shit because he got hurt that same way in the past 10 years ago. Like, they're just playing 4D chess, in my opinion. But I'll dive more into that during the WWE segment as well. But Killer Kross, he said he hasn't received any offers from AEW. Maybe AEW knows something we don't, and that's why they haven't offered him anything. Tony don't want to get fucking sued again. But anyways.
Since Sunday, have other promotions reached out to you?
Yeah, of course.
Big ones?
Yes.
Can I ask specifically?
You can ask, but I won't tell you, brother.
Has AEW reached out?
No.
No. Are you surprised?
No.
Why?
A lot of people think it's a work.
They were the ones I was thinking of when you said, hey, people don't know whether or not to reach out. Because the theory that I've heard is if Kross shows up on TNA, this is all a work because they're in cahoots, right?
Right.
If he shows up on AEW, obviously this isn't a work.
Yeah.
Do you agree with that sentiment?
Yeah, that's what everyone is thinking. I've read it. I've seen it.
Yeah.
I've seen it. Everyone's thinking I'm just going to pop up under some other company that's in the WWE umbrella. They're hoping I do because this seems so nonsensical to people. People are following.
Well, no, we want you in TNA because Tony Khan won't know what the fuck to do with you, guy. He would just botch your career worse than fucking Triple H sort of. But I don't think Triple H is botching it. I think this is the resurgence. And the righteous are tweeting out it all like we have the plan. You guys see it play out or whatever the fuck. Like that's what the righteous are saying and shit as well. we could see the Righteous pop up. And I know that the roster's bloated, but look at the fact that they would be paid less than some of the people who've been released, and look at the Raw Tag Division, and look at how the Boo Day are about to change back to the Good Guy New Day, and then Waller doesn't have his tag partner, so then that's one more babyface team, so then we need another fucking heel team in that Raw Tag Division. No, the Righteous could be those guys, man. It could totally work out. And I know that the whole thing with Kross and the AOP faction didn't work out, but that was artificial. We don't need Ellering with Kross and Scarlett and the AOP. AOP and Ellering need to be their own thing. And then Kross and Scarlett and fucking the Righteous, that would be amazing. That would be awesome. Now, are we getting too faction-y? Yeah, but WWE's doing that a lot. It worked in the Attitude Era. So I'm not entirely against it, but to me, man, I'm just smelling a work. But this is why I'll explain it in WWE news. I went off already. I'm going to explain why it isn't a work, but it is a work, and it's just a simple explanation. But the sheets will never cop to being right or wrong ever. Get ready for them to spurg out regardless of what the outcome is, because they're all clinging on to information, which is totally fine. But it's because both things can be true to some degree in this situation, right?
Right.
The course of events that have happened to get to here, and they're going, how did this happen? This must not be real because this makes no sense. And believe me, I also think that this makes no sense either.
Yeah.
This is baffling to me too. And it drives me nuts that I actually even have to admit that. It is baffling.
It is.
So
it would be an all-time story if you go up and show up on the indies and then come back. That's what people are concocting this.
Mm-hmm.
But you have said repeatedly this is not the case.
Mm-hmm.
So are you open to even talking to others at the moment, or are you still holding out hope that things will get sorted with WWE?
I've talked to many people across the boards about doing a lot of different things. I have...
Check out the Ariel Helwani show, guys.
Things that we're lining up. My wife, both, and I, we both have things that we're lining up. We just haven't announced dates, but nothing so far that.
Here's the thing, though, right? We saw JBL go and do all these indies. You can see Natty Neidhart do all the indies. Kross did the Chris Bay benefit show and fought Alex Hammerstone. What's to stop them from just saying, yeah, go out there and book some indies? It's all part of the show, baby.
We have taken on would necessarily interfere with coming back home to WWE.
Coming back home to WWE.
It's like I said it before. Like I'm not trying to turn this into a game. I know that could be advantageous for a lot of people. I don't like to proceed like that. I don't like it. I will resent myself for proceeding that way, even if it's monetarily beneficial to do that. I don't want to do that.
You would just say, I'm not stooging shit. AEW has reached out to me, or no, they didn't reach out to me, or I've been talking to everybody. But it's just this like, oh, he's doing a classic over-explain, right? So I just think it's a work.
So,
and I think these stories we're hearing about people being furious is a work as well. But anyways, to make this about AEW, because this is AEW news, Tony Khan, get your shit together, bud. Pick up the phone and fucking call him. Say, I made Kross a fucking offer that he can't refuse. And if he refuses it, if you guys are really about it, but Tony doesn't want to talk about WWE, he doesn't want to sign up that many ex-WWE guys and anymore. And his fans, the only thing they talk about or they get traction for talking about is ex-WWE guys. So honestly, it might be smarter for Tony Khan to just stay the fuck away from that.
Being at the table to finish discussing, you know, things that we never got a chance to discuss. I think that there's still a lot to talk about.
Sure.
So,
and when you say that, you mean like from a character perspective, right? There's so much more work.
No, I mean like from attempting to recover the issue with WWE.
Okay.
Like that's why I'm not fishing for any major television wrestling companies to call me. I have been contacted by several, but I'm not looking for that. That's not actually what I'm looking for. What I would like to explore the conversation more with WWE.
Do you think if you called them today and said
he wants to be there so bad?
You know what? On second thought, I'll take that offer. Do you think it's on the table, or is it really gone?
Well, the offers are rescinded.
You think so?
Well, that's what they said.
That's what they said.
That's what they said.
Believe that? I mean, because that's business too, right? That's negotiation.
Well, I mean, I want to believe what they are telling me. That's how communication has to work, sure. Unless they say something that is untrue. But in life, no one
Yeah, so AEW, pick up the goddamn phone if we want to. If Tony doesn't, if there's no rumor about him going there from anyone other than Meltzer, then we know that. Yeah, see, I called it. It's fucking Naito, or it's Takahashi rather. Did I not call it or what, chat? I was like, it'll be fucking Naito or some shit. Takahashi. It'll just be like one of these legends. So there you go. The ticking time bomb. Speaking of TikTok, Tony Gunn's terrible booking we see there. So Anthony Bowens again with WWE's Kathy Kelly. Like he's there hanging out. Like he gets invited to the big stuff. Apparently there's Nobody and there's Nobody 2. These movies are good. I haven't seen them, but apparently they're good shit, pal. Tony Nese has been serving as a coach agent within All Elite Wrestling. He was listed this past Saturday for Collision on a match. So again, more wrestlers transitioning into that role. Ring of Honor's just dying. Like some of these guys who are agents and shit or that are transitioning to producers, build Ring of Honor around them. And then Awful Wrestling posted this. And he says this chart shows AEW fan logic. Eras are only 1 year. Exactly. Like what kind of dumb fuckery is this? So some like wrestling news outlet posted this or some AC, whatever this logo is. I've seen it. Are talking about annual top pay-per-view sales. Of course, this is based off of Meltzer math as well, so this shit isn't true. But they're talking about the eras. Each year is an era. That's how fucking redacted people are in the IWC, bro. I can't believe it half the time. Like, no. Even definition of fucking era, I don't think can be one singular year, right? I think the definition will tell us a period of time or something, a long and distant period of history with a particular feature or characteristic. Oh man, 1 year, that's a long time for some. Follow your spirit and the butterflies, man. A system of chronology dating from a particularly noteworthy event is the second definition of era. So is it you hear these women, they cut their hair and they're like, I'm in my diva era. And then 6 months later, I'm in my no fucks era. And it's like, dude, stop fucking bastardizing words all the time. So a system of chronology, again, geology, a major division of time that is a subdivision of an eon and is itself subdivided into periods. None of these singular years are fucking eras. But the inaugural era. Who named these? I'm giving these a what chant. The inaugural era. The resilient era.
What?
The blockbuster era. It was a blockbuster, Brian. The global era. 2 countries isn't global. The expansion era. Expanded where? To fucking local bars and comedy clubs, like to local fucking resident venues. The glorious era. The glorious era. Bobby Roode didn't work there. The milestone era. Because I guess they're making all of these milestones this year based off fake Meltzer math. It's super funny and it's super diluted. And I think that's the new graphic that's going to stay in AEW for a while until we get a new one, just to remind us of the eras. And to believe that they're making more money every year, I just don't know about all that, man. I really don't know if I believe all that. But either way, we will give it an Ichi Nissan because that was AEW news, ladies and gentlemen.